Yo, people, it is RJ Reaper X. This is the part 2 of what if Luffy had all for one. I'm sorry for not posting for it's been 5 days, so my bad for that. But I've seen, looks like the first part of all for one Luffy went quite well, so I'll make a part 2 of that. As for the Naruto one, I'm probably gonna release it tomorrow. I'll see about that. Anyways, as I say always, thank you guys for the support. We are currently at 127 subscribers, which is really insane, guys. It really is crazy. Thank y'all guys, really, for sharing the videos with your friends, sharing even my channel, subscribing, all of that. Thank you guys for that. And like I said, if you have any suggestions, you'll tell me in the comments. I'm gonna do them. Unless I haven't watched the movie or show or anime it is about. So if that's the case, then my bad. Sorry for that. If it's not, then I hope I can make your idea. Well, I hope I can implement your ideas into the what if. Anyways, without further ado, let's start. So, last time we ended it when Luffy freed Shellstown from the evil Marine Captain Morgan. He robbed him of all his strength, robbed him of his axe hand, of basically everything that could make him useful. He threw him at his ship at sea and just made him drift away from Shellstown. The Marines were really grateful, and last time Zoro gained huge respect for his captain, Luffy, and officially joined the crew, becoming the right-hand man of Luffy. Anyways, so after this incident, Luffy and Zoro both went to the Blood White Hunter. If you don't know or forgot, it is basically the name of Luffy's ship. Well, I'll just call it a boat because, I guess it's a yacht. Pretty big yacht. I don't even know if I didn't show a picture, so just wait a minute. Basically, it is a boat like that. But of course, it is red and white. So yeah, when Zoro sees the ship, I'm just gonna call it a ship. So when he sees the ship, he's absolutely shocked by first how huge the thing is, and second, but how it looks. Because as you know, One Piece, their boats are not really, how can I say this, evolved. So it's just wood and all, and pretty trashy, not gonna lie. But hey, that's just me. Anyways, like I said, so Zoro's surprised to see a metal boat full of metal, like no wood, except for the kitchen, I guess. But that's it, man. So Zoro's just surprised. He's just surprised. Anyways, he basically gives Zoro a tour of the ship and tells him everything he needs to know. He also, of course, tells him about Boa Hancock. If you don't know, it's his girlfriend, I guess. I'm gonna just say it's his wife. He considers her as a wife, and she considers him as a husband. So they're gonna have like a ceremony later, I guess. But right now, okay, I'm gonna sing just for the fun of it, okay? So basically, he tells him everything he needs to know about his wife and all that. And Zoro nods. He understands completely. And Zoro's sense of direction, it's not that bad, okay? It is still bad, but it's not that bad. Like, he can't get lost on a ship, at least. That's the least he can do, okay? I'm just saying. Anyways. So, yes. Right now, they're currently heading to the next town, which is Orange Town. Luffy is just in his grand bedroom with Boa just laying there, looking at him. And Luffy looks at her and he sees hearts in her eyes. And he starts sweating like crazy. But it's already too late. The door is already locked. And we sadly cannot continue with any further details, because you know what will happen if I do. So let's just say they had a lot of fun. Yes. Bedroom sparring. Yes. That's what they did. And the room is soundproof, so don't even worry about it, bro. Anyways. So after like a few hours, I'd say, they arrive at Chelstown. And after, I guess, all of them getting off the ship, of course, Izuku puts it in camouflage mode, which basically puts it like really deep down the sea and makes it invisible, because nobody needs to see this. Not right now. Anyways, like I said, they go to the deck of Orange Town, and they just notice a girl. Well, okay, Zoro and Luffy are together, okay? They're just walking together, talking and all, and Boa is on her own, alright? So Boa right now, this is Boa. So Boa's currently walking right now, and she sees Nami go behind her. And Nami says, "Hey, boss." Oh, pardon me. Hey, sister. They're chasing me. Please save me from them. And of course, Nami's just acting. And Boa knows she's acting and she just wants to help out, And then she just doesn't even form anything. Just looks at the people chasing Nami, and they all turn to stone. And they die. Boom. And Nami is just completely flabbergasted by the power that Boa just showed right there. And Boa is like, little girl, you seem lost. And you have any specialties? And Nami nods and she's like, yes, I'm actually a navigator. And then Boa thinks for a second and she's like, how about you join my husband's crew? His dream is to become the king of the pirates. And of course, he would need a navigator for that. And Nami is like, in her head, she's like, oh my, she already has a husband. Oh well, it wouldn't really hurt, right? Even though I hate pirates, the way she saved me, it was just so cool. And then Nami, after sitting there thinking for about a minute, she accepts to join. So Zoro and Luffy, they go back to the ship, you know. Zoro got a free sword, and he took it with him, obviously. So then, you know, him and Luffy, they were just, you know, talking and laughing while going back to the ship. And they saw Boa with Nami. And then Luffy goes to Boa, and he's like, "Hey, Boa, who's that girl beside you?" And then Boa's like, "Hey, Luffy. Well, she's a navigator, and, you know, I thought she might be a good addition to the crew." And then Luffy is like, you might be right about that. So, did she join the crew? And Boa nods, and Luffy is like, very well. Welcome to the crew of the Straw Hats. Here you're considered as family, so you can make yourself comfortable. And if you have anything to say, just tell us. We'll help you. And then Nami, you know, starts crying, and she hugs Boa. And Boa just pats her head because she's way taller than Nami, obviously. And Luffy is too. And yeah, Luffy's taller than Zoro. That's for sure. But anyways. So Nami, you know, cries, and after a minute, she just looks up at Boa, and she says, well, sis, my village is currently under the control of an evil fishman named Arlong, and I wanted to collect 100 million belly so that I can pay him to get out, but I know he's gonna betray me anyway, so please help me. And, you know, she sobs a little, and then Boa just pats her head and looks at Luffy, and Luffy starts sweating profusely, and she's like, Boa says with a not so innocent smile, "We're gonna save her, right, Luffy?" And then Luffy's like, "Yes, of course. I was planning on doing so anyways." And then Boa smiles at him, and she goes and kisses him, and he kisses back, and she says, that's what I thought. Anyways, let's go back to the ship. Luffy nods, and he lifts his finger upwards, and the ship emerges, surprising Nami, because she's never seen a ship like that. I mean, obviously. And yes, I am completely skipping this because Buggy is irrelevant. He's useless. He's weak. He's trash. And again, irrelevant, so nobody cares about him. But anyways, as I was saying, Nami is completely flabbergasted. She is crazy, bro, because she's never seen a ship that looks so cool and that is made of fully of metal. So Boa gives her a tour of the the ship, and, you know, tells her to make herself comfortable, and she also gives her a room. And yes, Zoro also got his own room. So yeah. So right now they're just resting. So they're doing nothing for the rest of the day but sleep or just chill, you know. So after the next day, Luffy and basically Luffy wakes up the whole crew, and he goes to Nami and says, I know you're a navigator, but I want every single person in my crew to be able to fight. So, I'll give you this. And then his hands have some red and black sparkles. And he touches her forehead and gives her immense strength. And by that, I mean soccer level, so she makes huge ass craters with them. And Shinkenya also, I don't know if would that be too OP for Nami, bro? Yeah, I'll just make her have like soccer level strength, okay? And she also gets her acclimatized. Yep, why not? She also gets acclimatized included. And she finna receive training from Boa too, so we need the crew to be able anyways, so yep. As for Zoro, Luffy trains him in hockey and discovers that Zoro actually has the Conqueror's hockey. So he trains him and all that. So during like the whole week, they've been training and training and training. So Nami completely mastered her climb attack. And she also mastered her strength, because she can't be having soccer level strength every single time she swings her arms. That would be crazy, man. So she knows how to control her strength. Zoro has completely mastered hockey. He has basic of each. But he has advanced armament. The rest, basic. So, yeah. Anyways, so after this week, they start going towards the next island, which is actually Syrup Village. So for about a whole day at least, they continue, to go to the next island, which again, I say, is Syrup Village. They enter the village, but as soon as they enter, they see a group of kids and a guy that seems about Luffy's age or something. The guy in question had a long nose, and he was boasting about having 8,000 men under him, which made Luffy laugh his ass off, because he knew damn well that wasn't true at all. And then, Usopp just started panicking like crazy and sweating, and he was like, hey, you pirates! You better get out, because the great Captain Usopp is here. I have 8,000 men under my command. Only one gesture of my hand and you'll be eradicated. And then Luffy is like, okay, man, just drop the act. We're not here to cause any harm. So let's just calm down. And then Usopp gulps and he sighs in relief, because he knows he can't fight. So tough, really tough. Anyways, Luffy and his crew, basically, they just start visiting the village and all that. And then, while Luffy activated his observation haki because he wanted to see if anything suspicious was going on. He saw that there were a man with complete malice in his heart. And he looked deep down further and saw that the man was going to kill Kaya, which made him extremely mad, because how dare he hurt the friend of one of his friends. He was not going to let this slide. And that person was obviously Captain Kuro. So the next day, Luffy followed Kuro, who was going down to the hill where his ship and his crew was. And then Luffy, out of nowhere, teleported behind Kuro and used spring-like limbs to basically push Kuro into the ground, immediately knocking him out. He then looked at the rest of Kuro's crew and used Black Whip, a quirk similar to Black Whip, to catch them all and slam them together. If it wasn't enough, he added armament and conquerors to it to make sure they slept well. After basically manhandling them, he dropped them all to the ground and they were all unconscious. He put a lot of oil to make sure that they wouldn't be able to climb back the hill. It would be impossible for them. And then Luffy went back to the main part of the village to tell Usopp about what happened. And Usopp could not believe his eyes, and his ears, because what Luffy was telling him was absolutely crazy, but he had faith in Luffy. He didn't know why, but he knew he could trust Luffy. It just seemed like he was, used to seeing Luffy. And he was used to all the things he said, but he just didn't pay attention to it. Anyways, so after this, Usopp proceeded to tell a lot of adventures to Kaya. And then eventually, she stopped. She was silent. Then she looked at Usopp and said, "Usopp, your dream, it was to become a brave warrior of the sea, right?" And then Usopp nods. And then she says, "Go with those pirates. I'm sure they're gonna make you a true knight of the sea. Right now you're just only stuck here in the village of nobodies. You don't even get to go out at the seas. All you're doing is just staying on the ground doing nothing but lie and lie sometimes. Even though you told me pretty cool adventures, please, Usopp, for me, just go with them." And Usopp proceeded to shed manly tears because of Kaya's speech, which made him a little emotional. He then stood up and went to Luffy. So when Luffy saw him again, and he was like, "Hey, Usopp, how are you doing?" And Usopp tells him that he's doing very well, and that he would appreciate it if Luffy could let him join his crew. And then Luffy looked at him a little surprised, and then he smiled and said, "Of course you can join my crew. Anyone can. From what I see, you're a sniper, eh? But your weapon, a slingshot. It seems a little too bad to me, if you know what I mean." I'll just give you a gun because you really need it. Or how about this? I'll give you an inventory quirk. Your quirk will just work like a video game. You will be able to select any weapon you want. You already have the memories of the names of the weapon, so you don't have to scroll through. Each time you just say the weapon's name in your head, and then it'll appear in your hands and you'll be able to use it to dispose of enemies. Usopp barely, and I mean barely, understood any of what Luffy was saying because it's Usopp. So after Luffy transferred the quirk to Usopp, Usopp gained the memories of the previous user of the quirk. And he was literally so happy now because he could become a true Knight of the Sea. All his fears were completely gone because, of course, he was fearful because he had a slingshot of all weapons. He just had now a crew that could back him up on whatever situation. So yeah, anyways, now Usopp is pretty goated too, which makes me happy. Anyways, so after, that happened, the crew stayed on the island for 2 more days. And they ate and rest. And they also celebrated because they got a new crewmate. Anyways. So after relaxing and all that, they went back to the Blood White Killer, or was the Blood White, the Blood White. Blood White something. Yeah, I literally forgot. How stupid can I be? Is Blood White something? Anyways, their ship. So yeah. Anyways, after they finished celebrating and resting, they went back to continue their adventure. And while they were adventuring, Luffy suddenly became hungry and he just wanted to go to the sea restaurant that they just saw go past them. So then the ship made a little pit stop next to the Brody, and they ordered their food. So after like an hour, they ate and they were prepared to leave, but the ship of Captain Don Krieg was already going towards the Barati, ready to end anyone in their way. Luffy could easily take them out, but he wanted to see how the chefs were, how unique they were to basically stopping a thief from robbing you or robbing them. And he saw how Sanji, first of all, fed him, even though he knew how bad Krieg is. He still fed him. Surprised Luffy, but also made him smile, because he knew that he definitely wouldn't be able to do that. He'd probably be mad, extremely mad, and do some bad things to Krieg. So, after that, Luffy wanted to talk to Sanji. He wanted Sanji to join his crew as a cook. Sanji, of course, at first refused, but his mentor, Red like Zeph, just convinced him to just go with the Straw Hats and live his dream to see the all blue. Yep. So Sanji now joined the crew. The crew was celebrating like crazy in the restaurant, and so were the employees, and even the random people that we don't care about. So yeah, they partied and partied for like a whole day, and they just stopped after that because they wanted to continue their adventure, obviously. So after this, they directly went again to the next island. They themselves didn't know, but this ship already knew what their next destination was supposed to be, so it guided them there. So after waking up, the rest of the crew look around and they just see that it is a completely different island. And then Luffy recognized what Nami said, and he's like, "Hey, Nami, isn't this your village?" And then Nami is like, "Yes, it is. It really is. I hope you can help me." And Luffy's like, "Of course I can help you, especially if my wife tells me to do so." And then Luffy proceeds to fold a whole lot of fishmen, being stylish like Zoro, and Zoro just cutting them like crazy. And then Nami basically removes Arlong's stuff from his chair, and he basically she basically, Nami, just sits on it, acting like as if she didn't do anything. Like, it's crazy. But anyways, like I said before, they're kind of messing around and all. And Nami is destroying them because, like I said, soccer level strength and all. So, yep. Sorry about that, but like I said, they're pretty much OP right now. Nami has been striking them with thunder, hitting them like a truck, and doing a whole lot of crazy things until Arlong showed up. After that, Luffy just knocked out all the fishmen, except for Arlong, because he wanted to see Nami have her revenge. And then after that, Luffy just proceeded to Luffy proceeded to watch Nami destroy every fisherman, which kind of made him shocked. But I mean, she trained with his wife, so of course she would have changes, I guess. But Luffy just stopped thinking about it. So after that, Arlong Park is destroyed. Nami gets to keep all her navigation stuff, and she's really happy about it because her dream was to draw a map of the whole world, obviously. So she would definitely want more, I guess, knowledge. So yeah, she was very happy when she saw that her work was still good. So after this incident, Luffy and her, and Boa, and Zoro, and Sanji all was just putting up some stuff to repair the village. So yeah. Anyways, Nami said her last goodbyes to the village before she officially became a permanent member of the Straw Hats. And yeah, so after that, they went into the next island, which is yes, so it is Logtown, because obviously Luffy, he wants to see the place where the Pirate King was killed and born, where everything started and where everything ended. New era and old era. He needed to see it for himself, because that's just how it is. So after about an hour, they finally arrived at Locktown. Luffy stood up, kissed Boa in her forehead, and just head out with Zoro to just walk around for a bit. He obviously visited the execution platform, and he had Smoker go after him, but it was easier to beat him this time because Luffy had Haki. So it was way easier. But it's fine. So, anyways, after fighting Smoker, well, basically massacring him, Luffy stood up, started to shake his clothes to remove all the dirt, all the dust that accumulated on his jacket or suit, his magnificent suit. He just popped a vein and went back to the ship, because he wasn't dealing with this no more. He was not. So, anyways, he went back to the ship, and he went back to his room, expecting to just see Boa sleeping. But of course, she's always horny and horny and horny. So, she was laying on the bed, looking at him with the hungriest smile you could even ever see in this life. And then Luffy was smiling back too, which made Boa shiver, because she never saw Luffy being like this. And you know what they did after that? They did a lot of dangerous things, and not in the way you think. Let's just say Boa, she was not walking for at least a week, at least. And Boa was screaming like crazy, bro. But like I said, no more further details. Let's just imagine, use our minds, okay? Let's just imagine what they did. So, anyways, we're gonna skip, and next they're going to, which isn't actually an island, but a goal that they've been wanting to achieve, crossing to the Grand Line. Luffy had found out that from the AI that he installed in the Blood White Hunter, Blood White Chaser, actually, that the best way was to go through Reverse Mountain. And Luffy just told the AI to go there. So right now, they are currently fighting against the reverse waves of the Reverse Mountain, which is literally crazy because the physics don't add up there, you know? It's just fascinating for Luffy because he never thought that he could even see this happening, you know? But hey, it's the One Piece world. There's always weird stuff that don't make sense. So, let's not worry about that. So, right now, they're like at the bottom of Reverse Mountain, and they're continuing until they hit just a big black wall right now with what seems to be a scar. So now they assume it's an animal, most likely a whale. And by there I just mean Luffy, because he's the only one awake there. Like I said, Boa can't walk. Nami's just in her own thoughts right now about money, bro. Zoro's just thinking about beating Mihawk because, you know, he still remembers that fight that he had with Mihawk after the Barati arc. And of course, Izuku healed him quite quickly, so he didn't have to worry about... Luffy healed him quite quickly, so he didn't have to worry about that, but he was just thinking about beating the world's strongest swordsman and becoming the world's strongest swordsman himself. Sanji right now was just thinking about what next can he possibly cook. Oh, and I forgot to say something about Sanji. He's not a simp. I hate Sanji simping. And he already respects women, but he will not hesitate, okay? And I want to make this clear. He will not hesitate to hit a woman if that woman is a threat to himself or his crew. So, like, if, for example, okay, I'm gonna give you an example, okay? If a woman even dares to think about hurting Hancock, since she's technically his captain's wife, he's not gonna let that slide, bro. It is not happening because he doesn't want to feel the wrath of Luffy, because you know what happens when you feel the wrath of Luffy, and you truly do not want to know what happens. So, I just want to make this clear. Sanji not a simp. He will not hesitate at all. So, yeah. He's good now. Oh, and also... yep, sorry about that. Luffy also gave him a quirk. Ignite. Well, Devil's Footprints. Basically like Shinra from Fire Force. And basically his his black leg, Diable Jambe technique. So he develops that earlier. He can ignite his leg on fire. Has the moves, his original moves, and also the moves of Shinra. And I won't make him super OP like Shinra is in the manga. You will have, what is it? An Adolo Burst, I think it's called, or something like that. I don't know. But he will have those weird blue-looking flames, so you know, he goes faster than light, you know, and all that. Yeah, he'll have that. That's the max he'll have, because I don't want to make him too OP, you know. So, yeah. That's just for Sanji. But like I said, right now, they're talking with Laboon. Just having a little break. And, you know, Uzuki kind of saddened by Laboon's story. That was, you know, explained by the old man. So, he sparred with Laboon, but left it at a tie because obviously, telling Laboon that he's gonna have a rematch next time he meets him. So, yeah. Now they're currently on their way, like usual. And they arrive at the little garden when they encounter two giants. And it is a canon, basically. Same thing. Agents are sent after them. But of course, they fail miserably. And Luffy, he is not letting that slide because Mr. 5, the bomb guy, tried to lay a finger on Hancock. And that doesn't work. That can't be happening. Basically, he exploded Hancock, and she didn't take a single hint of damage. But the single fact that she was hit with an explosion made Luffy angry. Like, angry, bro. The level of angry where you want to run away, as soon as you see him. So Luffy took his fruit away. He didn't kill him because he doesn't like killing, but he took away his devil fruit. He sucked it in. Okay, sorry, he didn't suck it, but he stole it, okay? And now the bomb fruit, he has the bomb fruit in his possession. And he doesn't know what to do with it because he can't eat it. He has the Gomu Gomu no Mi anyways. He already awakened it and all that, if I didn't say so. So yeah. And he decides that it probably would be the best idea to give it to Usopp, since he could possibly infuse that with his bullets, which would make incredible damage. He would even be able to hit Logias, because devil fruits can hit each other, like elements. So I believe an explosion would be able to hit a Logia. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it would. So, anyways, he decides to give it to Usopp, to which Usopp adapts to it pretty well and implements it in his fighting style really easily. And it makes Luffy happy, he made the right choice. So, then, Luffy is just heading to his room right now, and he's walking with Boa. Until he suddenly gets an idea, he decides to try something. And he goes in his room with Boa. And, he turns Boa around and pushes her on the bed. And he gives her, the most... I don't know. I don't want to sound weird, but I guess the most attractive face he could ever do. And he looks at Boa directly in the eyes, and then he looks down and he sees wet spots. And he's like, in his head, he's like, oh my, I didn't know she was like this. I'm discovering new things every day. Love really is troublesome. It then sighs internally. And he proceeds to do her. And we're not going to talk about that because, we're not. We're literally not. Moving on. After all of this happened, the next day, Luffy, and his crew are just setting sail normally until they see two people at sea basically begging to go on their ship right now. And their ship is still the same, so the two people that are so not really drowning are really shocked by the ship, so they ask for help, and Luffy, being the kind man he is, he helps them. And they introduce themselves as Mr. I think it's like Mr. 4 or whatever. I don't really care. And Miss. Well, what's Vivi's name? I'm gonna just say Vivi, but you know what her secret name is. So yeah, Vivi and Mr. 4 or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, they get rescued, and they explain where they want to go, and the Straw Hats just follow the destination where they wanted to go, and they go there. Which is an island, and they were surprised that they were wholeheartedly welcomed in the island, and that was way too suspicious for Luffy. Pirates are hated all over the world, no matter what they do, so that was a little, if not a lot, suspicious. So he couldn't just let that slide. He activated his observation hotkey, and he looked a few seconds into the future. Nothing happened, but he obviously was on guard, especially during the night. So right now, everyone is sleeping except him, Zoro, and Sanji, because they're the big three, obviously. So Luffy looks at them and says, Sanji, Zoro, I know you both are thinking the same thing as me. This is way too suspicious to ignore. Zoro and Sanji both nod. Zoro unsheathes his swords. 2 of his swords, covers them in advanced armament haki. Sanji activates his observation haki and activates his Diable Jambe and his ignition ability. Basically the same thing. They then walk out and see bounty hunters literally pouncing on them as soon as they step out. But of course they proceed to beat the absolute living crap out of them. Luffy right now, he's just throwing them around with his Devil Fruit ability, which he rarely uses because it feels weird to him, because awful and a quirk, a Devil Fruit, different things. So yeah, he uses his Devil Fruit, and plus he doesn't match his style. Imagine watching a guy in a suit so stylish like this, just stretching his arms. It would look weird, right? So it doesn't really match his style, but he still uses it to beat the crap out of them. And Zoro right now, he's just going insane on them, cutting them like crazy, and of course Sanji burning them and kicking them. And yeah, we're gonna skip that. Basically, bounty hunters, they got annihilated. And yep, got annihilated. And without a single noise too. Because of course, they didn't want to wake up the girls up. So yeah. So anyways, now they're going back to sleep because they're safe. And then the next day, Vivi wakes up and sees all the bounty hunters gone. And she's she has like a glimpse of hope because she really needs somebody to save her country. And then she goes to the crew, who's all waking up and ready to leave. He's like, hey guys, My real name is Vivi, and I'm a princess of the Alabasta Kingdom, and we really need your help. Crocodile, one of the 7 warlords, is currently trying to overtake our country. He stole all the rain from it, and he's just been destroying cities, destroying more of the kingdom with his sand powers. Please help us defeat him. And then, Nami and Boa, they both feel bad. So they decide that they're gonna help her. The rest of the crew agrees. And they proceed to go on their journey. So, well, the next island, sadly, is not Alabasta. But what the frick? What the frick? Pardon me for that. I'm really, really sorry for this. Oh, that was crazy. So, anyways, let's just pretend you never saw that, please. So as I was saying, sadly the next island is not Alabasta, but Drum Kingdom. A kingdom covered in snow and snow only. No one in the crew was sick or anything. It's just that they needed to stop there for a break. And of course they got the coats and all that. So they're still good. Anyways. Right now they're just kind of looking for a doctor because they need a doctor for the ship, obviously. So, they're just walking around on Drum Island. And of course, they got stopped by the people in question and all, but after that, they let them go in because they trusted them enough. So, yeah. Vivi stayed in the ship, by the way, just saying. So right now, they're asking around if there's any doctors or something like that around. And people tell them about the Dr. Korea, who lives at the top of the mountain there. Luffy looks at the mountain that they're pointing at, which is pretty huge. But he's determined to get one, and it's pretty easy since he got flight. And he's super strong anyways. So, they, basically, Sanji grabs both of them with the quirk similar to Black Whip and just flies up. So they arrive rapidly at the castle. And, they see Dr. Korea, but they also see Chopper, who's basically an apprentice right now. And Luffy is like, "Hey, raccoon dog guy, would you join my crew as a doctor?" And then, Chopper is like, "No, never with you humans." And then Luffy is surprised and he's like, "Whoa, what do you mean by that? What happened?" And Korea basically tells her about Chopper's past, and Luffy's kind of sad. And he passed Chopper's head and he's like, "Oh, don't worry. We won't be like that. We're good people. You can trust us." Chopper nods, but he's still not convinced. But then Wapol arrives, and He's causing chaos. He defeated the Bison guy, and he's obviously being feared by people around. So Luffy goes out to see what the commotion is, and he sees Wapol currently doing destruction with his ultimate form. And then he springs into action, knocking and sending Wapol flying at insane speeds, making him basically an invisible speck. And the anime star effects plays. And yeah, Wapol is gone and never coming back. And Chopper was amazed by the display of power, and that's how he was convinced to join the crew. Anyways, so yeah, that's how Chopper joined the crew. So right now, they're currently ready to get out of there because they have nothing else to do here. So they start packing their stuff, going back to the ship. And Chopper gets introduced to the crew. He also gets a tour and all that. And also Luffy helped Chopper by basically, make him able to control his powers without the Rumble Ball. Also giving him new forms. So Chopper has a human-like form. He basically is a human, but with a blue nose. Yep. That's all there is. And Nami is low-key looking at Chopper dirty, so I'm just saying, she's low-key doing that. And Chopper is kind of worried because he's still Chopper at the end of the day, But he shrugs it off. And Luffy does not like what's going on. And he's feeling bad for Chopper right now. Zoro and Sanji also read the room, and they're speechless. They're not even going to say anything or think anything. They're going to completely ignore that. So, yes, this was a rant. My bad. So, anyways, right now, they are directly going to Alabasta right now. They don't have time anymore. Because they need to save Vivi's kingdom at ASAP. So, right now, they're going to Alabasta. And after, I'm going to say a week, they arrive at the border of the Kingdom of Sand, Alabasta. So they wear clothes appropriate for that. And they just head out. They walk and walk, and they go to some of the cities of Alabasta, and they help the people there by feeding them, and also giving them a lot of water and rain. Yep, Nami can do that. The rain, the water, Luffy just uses a water quirk, put it in a well, or if there isn't a well, he just makes one, etc. So they go around helping people, and basically, helping Alabasta become I'm gonna not say greener, but it just seems better right now. So then they finally go to the capital, in which they're intercepted by the rest of Crocodile's agents. They all attack them at once, but Luffy just brushes them off like ants, and Sanji and Zoro proceeds to beat the crap out of them. No mercy at all. So yeah, that's just how they're all defeated. Easy like that. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And Luffy currently is heading towards what he thinks is the base of Crocodile. And he was right. He goes to the underground and he sees Crocodile, who isn't really worried, but kinda is still. Luffy basically proceeds to beat crap out of Crocodile by first splashing a whole lot of water on him, because he discovered that his ability is sand, and then just use enhancement quirks while using water quirks to keep Crocodile solid. He even use heat quirks to make Crocodile turn completely solid like glass, breaking him, etc. over and over again. Then Luffy just suddenly stops, which makes Crocodile sigh internally in relief. And then Luffy puts Crocodile back to his normal states, which confuses him, and Crocodile is like, "What do you want, Straw Hat? Finally done after what you did?" And then Luffy just puts his hand up, and he says, I don't really like making enemies, and your power is just too useful to let go of, so how about this? I upgrade your devil fruit, and we become allies, or you could say business partners. What do you say about it, Crocodile? And Crocodile thinks about all the advantages that could be with being with such a, being partners, business partners with such a powerful person. And he shakes his hand. Then Luffy upgrades his quirk. So Crocodile looks basically the same, but his quirk, his devil fruit. So basically, Crocodile looks still the same, but he now has the powers of God. Basically, Auto Sand Shield. He can turn it on and off if he wants to. He doesn't have the tailed beast, definitely not, but he can control his sand better, And he can control also the temperature of his sand. So if he heats his sand like a whole lot, it can turn into glass, and he can just make it rain on people, giving them cuts. Or he can make the sand super heavy and sending down, making heavy pressure. Yeah. So Crocodile agreed to leave the Alabasta Kingdom alone. And Luffy told him that he could give him an island, a free island, where he could freely use his devil fruit. And he can take one associate with him. So he obviously takes Mr. One, who's Das Bones, the guy with the blade quirk. Blade devil fruit. And he upgrades him too, by helping him a little to learn hockey, because he definitely need it. He then sends a Crocodile to an island, which is full of sand and a whole lot of things to train with. So yeah. Now, this is where I'm gonna end this. It's been going on for a lot of time. I'm really out of ideas for now. But I'm really hyped for one moment that's gonna happen. I'm not gonna spoil it right now, but oh, when it happens, I'm gonna be so hyped for it, bro. Crazy. So, anyways, this is the end of this video. Thank you all for watching. Please like, subscribe, share the channel, make the channel grow. If you have any suggestions, put them in the comments. I'm gonna do them as soon as possible. For the Naruto video, I'll try my best to do it tomorrow. And yeah. So, anyways, thank you all guys for the support. Hope you enjoyed the vid. And peace out and goodbye. Bye bye.